Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with a look at Grand Kingdom, and it's a unique strategy RPG that's getting ready to come out. It's from, as you can see, it's from NIS and Spike Chunsoft. It's different, and I've played it a little, and we're going to talk about it. It's the demo beta. You could sign up for the beta, but what they did is they just sent you a download code for basically the demo. And it has the purchase of PlayStation, so it's not out yet. It comes out in June. But this is a neat first look, and I figured it's a game that kind of caught my eye just from the trailers, so I wanted to kind of take a look at it. So we're going to just kind of do this and see if we can get to where we need to be without having to deal with a lot of the early story. Okay, good. Now we get the early story. So this is going to be fantastic, meaning I'm going to have to skip through all of this. I wanted to talk about this afterwards, but because it's voice acted, I wanted to give a chance to do that without having to talk about it. So as you can see, the story is very stylized. It's told from like these little animated and I say animated, but little interaction scenes like this. The art is actually really well done for these sections. There's a lot of detail, and the fact that it's really kind of bare bones when you think about it, because these are the cutscenes. This is the story. There's no real FMV. It's more animated. But they did do full voice acting for it, so that's, not a... It's not unimpressive series of design choices. It's actually really impressive when you think about the size and scope of the game. But what I really wanted to talk about was the gameplay itself. The story we could get into, but it sounds like it's going to be a very expansive story, and could take a ridiculously long time to cover a lot of it, because there's 4 kingdoms, and you're joining a mercenary guild that will interact with all 4 kingdoms. There's also some online component to it, so there's a lot going on. But I wanted to show off the core of the gameplay itself, which is this, the quest progression. We are the little, I guess, chess piece that's hopping around. You have a certain number of actions to get to the goal. You have a quest menu where you can look at everything, so you can see what quest info. Victory condition, reach the target location. Failure, exceed the specified number of actions, or we die. And then you get rewards for that. You have various supplies, skills, and you can check your status. So looking at our team, we have a fighter, a medic, a witch, and a hunter. And we have skills like our fighter has treasure warp, max charge, increases troops attack defense and magic defense by 10% for 3 battles. So you have all these abilities that can be used on the world map here, and this is what I call the world map because this is what it's going to be like. There's exploration like this takes place on these maps, and then combat is a result of the exploration on these maps. So I wanted to kind of show this off because the combat system is unique into itself, and I want to show this off. I was really hoping to skip a lot of the help boxes for the tutorial fight, but it's really kind of a pain because the problem with this is the control system is a bit of a pain, and I'll talk about that here in a second. So we have the actual style of combat. As you can see, we're fighting against 3 wolves, and each of them are on a different plane. So you have a background, a foreground, and a middle ground. So imagine if this was like a Tales game or Guardian Heroes turn-based. That's really the best way that I can explain this. So it has some action and timing elements to it for the attacks and the abilities, and then it also has a huge positioning aspect. As you can see, we moved in front of the wolf, and it removed part of our... we have a stamina gauge that depletes as we move. And then we also will have a stamina gauge for the attacks that we have, for melee attacks, things like that. Each attack is really going to be different, which is part of the problem of the control scheme. So here for our fighter we have slash attached to the circle button, guard attached to the triangle button, X is end turn. Most other games, X is confirm. So the first time I did this, I just kind of ended my turn and like, well, that sucks, I didn't do anything. Whereas circle is what we want to do, and circle is how we will continue attacks. And I actually missed one of the attacks. I could have gotten another attack in if I was actually just a little bit faster. So that's melee attacks. Melee attacks function that way. Ranged attack, or at least the range attack that we have, will function slightly differently. Let's make use of the specialty attack to attack the enemy without moving. So we want to shoot, and as you can see, it's an arc. So that shoot will always have that arc. So we could move, but we can't readjust the attack arc. It's always going to be that way, so you'll have to keep your archers that far away to use this particular ability. And this one gets fun because it has a gauge, and there are a lot of little gauge abilities. Ranged attacks have gauges, magic attacks have gauges, and the thing is to fire as many arrows as we can by just, like, spamming it while it's in the right place. So it does that, and we spam arrows. And, you know, if I had hit one more of those arrows, I probably would have one-shotted the wolf. And the witch. Basically, magic is going to function the same way. So, for the tutorial, it's telling you, hey, use lightning. And lightning will attack everything in front of you on that plane, including your allies. So this becomes a really interesting combat mechanic of, in addition to it having to charge up, it can and will attack our allies. So we did damage to our own fighter in order to kill that wolf. All attacks are like that. Like melee attacks, we can melee attack our own troops. We can catch them in spells. We can hit them with arrows. All sorts of things. So, and now the medic's turn. We are going to want to place a medical bag, which basically is a healing item that just kind of hangs out there. Skills and objects can be placed in the field. Anything on the field can be taken advantage of by the enemies. So we want to be very careful about that. Alright, and I want to just kind of get close enough because I want to acid throw. We are going to acid throw that wolf. So that wolf is dead. Yay! Attacks and heals can affect enemies and allies, so yeah, positioning is a thing. End of basic flow of battle. So, and you can see who has what turn based off of the bar at the bottom. So right now it is our fighter's turn. So we're just going to run up here and start beating the crap out of this wolf. And guard. Next up is our ranger, basically. So we're just going to long shoot, which is just shoot anything in front of you. And we do that to kill him. So all in all, combat is actually really unique. And then you build up a little meter, which will actually give you more TP and recover more of your HP. Basically, the more... it's kind of a morale gauge. The more well you do in combat. So, it asks us if we want to repeat. We don't really need to repeat. We're going to be getting into at least another fight on the way through here. And then once battle is over, we continue back to the world map. You can heal your HP using field items, press the square button, use supplies. So if we needed to heal, which I don't think we do, we could use supplies. But supplies only last for that map. So if we beat this map, all of the supplies we have will be resold to give us money. So it's an interesting an interesting mechanic of what you have. Like, you can't just buy a whole bunch of potions and hoard them. Alright, so now we are fighting wolves and an archer. So, what we're going to do is just beat the crap out of the wolves and then deal with the archer. So next is our healer, and I could do acid throw, but I'm just going to kind of keep her out of the way. You, on the other hand, I am going to lightning. And as we had 5 lightning bolts the first fight, now we're down to 4, so it actually does use... we do have a limited number of resources that we do have to regenerate between fights. So, Fireball, however, is not, and so we're going to do that, and it's going to have a slightly different attack style, which, again, and we're going to... I'm going to kill the leader, is what I'm going to do. So we're going to wait for that, and... Damn it, I hit that, but apparently it didn't count. And he's not dead, which means he's going to just beat the crap out of both of my people. That's wonderful. And the wolf is going to guard break. I don't care about the wolf. Oh, okay. Now I kind of care about the wolf. Alright, so let's just beat the crap out of the wolf. And whose turn is it now? It's your turn. We're just going to come back here and... Actually, I could do that. And we will acid throw. Throw acid! You turn into Harvey Dent. That's what's going to happen to you. And next up, we've got our caster, which is fine. We're just going to do another fireball, and one hit should be enough to take him out, and it was. So that fight is over. And again, we got 4, so 12% HP recovered, 4 TP. And you can see the progress bar there, the amount of HP we recover, and then also the XP you get. Back to the world map. We get to wander around some more. And we get sections like this, where things give you multiple paths, and then you also have to we'll change the display. Also have to be very careful, because the control scheme is kind of... That's the thing I have the biggest problem with, is the controls. Because it's not what you would expect it to be, because it's at this tilted angle. Really, everything about the controls are really what bothers me. The world tilt like this, so that the up, down, left, and right are not what they really need to be. Yes, it's more stylized, but it feels awkward. Because it's like, I want to press up. No, that's not up. That's actually left to your relative position. And then combat is like, you want to press... You want to press one button, but X is usually your confirmation button. Yeah. It's a little weird. So, showing off the abilities, it shows you how you can use abilities to traverse the world, skip over fights, deal with that. We get healing medicine, so we can heal should we need to do that, and it tells you about the different types of treasure chests. But it's a thing. Some roads cannot be seen until you're close to them. Hidden paths use the direction button, so it's like, okay.
Path looks clear.
use the hidden path, and it goes through there. The last treasure. And then we continue on, and we've reached the goal. So, 182 actions left, 75% morale with 8 TP. So let's see what we can use. We can increase... We can get 300% XP. With the power of ley lines, increase your troops' HP recovery by 30%. Max charge. Let's do max charge. Do max charge, and actually we've got the TP for it, so let's go ahead and use Earth Heal. And that'll heal everyone a fair bit, and we'll go into this fight with a little bit more, you know, oomph in our step. So, and then this fight will actually show you how there are objects littered about the battlefield. So, we get to deal with that. So, yeah, that's fun, and they can kind of go through objects. We, however, can't go through their objects. We have to tear through them. But that's a small price to pay. Let's see, acid throw. I can hit both of them with acid. And now I'm going to hit both of them with lightning, because I can. And now it's my turn. And no, I'm going to have to come back here in order to do this. And almost one dead. The other, the spellcaster will die. So yeah, I can't... Well, now I'm going to attack myself. That's going to be fun. But that's how combat works in this game, is it is designed to tell you, it's like, hey, be careful about who you're attacking. Because it's going to be... It's going to be unique. Alright, so let's heal. We can use a heal potion. But we also want to be very, very careful. Because I don't know if that'll heal the enemy leader as well. Because again, all abilities can affect. Alright, let's shoot and just make sure we aim for... Alright, so guard break at least, that helps. And now we should be able to take him out with our fighter. And that's combat. And that's gameplay. The bulk of the game is this style of strategy combat, which is very, very different from your typical strategy RPG. But because they treat it of, this is combat, so there is friendly fire, it's unique. I'm kind of interested in that style of everyone can kind of screw you up. Like, alright, let's see, what do we got? We've got another medic, we've got a hunter, we've got a witch, we've got the leader. We're just gonna go on an all-out assault. I don't need to move quite as close. There we go. Acid potion. To the face! And you're dead. You're not going to be casting any spells on me. The healer, on the other hand, is going to heal them. And that healed all the damage that I did. Can I... Yeah, I really need to kill her, but I'm going to just lightning. 2 birds with 1 stone. And let's see. I can attack her, or I could attack. Let's attack. Let's attack him. I'm probably going to do damage to this box. Oh, no. Well, I did damage to the box, but I actually still killed him. So that works out in my favor. And my lightning goes off. And I took out the healer, and I almost took out their leader with that, so... And there we go. So, combat... I really like the combat style. I really like it. The art style for the game is also really interesting. I'm really impressed that they did full voice for the story sections. And the world map, while I know a lot of people are like, yes, it's very disappointing that this is your level of exploration. You don't get to explore the rest of the world. Like Shining Force 2, you have the tactical battles, but then you get to explore the world. But I mean, thinking back on games like Final Fantasy Tactics, where you get to wander around the map, but there's really no exploration, it's just talking to people. This, at least, there is some exploration. We get to wander around these maps and explore and possibly find hidden treasures and hidden enemies and things like that. So there is a level of exploration in it, but I can see where some would say it's not enough. But by the same token, I'm used to a lot of strategy RPGs like Shining Force, where the bulk of the Shining Force games really are fight after fight after fight, and the exploration is finding hidden items in those fights. Whereas at least here we get to find hidden items along the map, so we do have some control over that, but then combat is still kept as its own separate entity. So, the biggest gripe I have with this game is the control scheme. The control scheme does take a ton to get used to. It really does. So, there is a bit of a learning curve to that, to kind of deprogram yourself from other types of action-oriented RPGs. Because, like I said, you have a mindset of what you are expecting with button configurations, but this is not it. This does not adhere to those things. So, it is coming out on multiple systems. I know it's coming out on PS4. I do have it reserved on PS4. I have the demo on PS4. But I believe it's going to be on PlayStation Network, so it might be on PS3 as well. Not 100%, but it looks like it's a neat game. So if you are a fan of tactical RPGs, or, you know, more action-oriented RPGs that do have a level of strategy to them rather than button mashing, this is a game I would look into. I think it has a lot of potential, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the full release. Being the demo, we only have access to these 4 character classes, but there seems to be dozens of character classes that we can recruit later through the game. I'm assuming each one brings its own different style of mechanic to combat to bring a new flavor into it. So, I'm really excited to play this one. If you can, I don't know if the quote beta event is still going on or if you're able to download the demo, but if you can, I strongly recommend it to give it a try, see if it might be your cup of tea, because I would like to see more games with, you know, this unique style of trying something new. This is innovative in a lot of ways, and I really think if it's refined, that innovation could go a long way. I don't think the refinement will take place by the time the game is released, but if the game sells enough, maybe we'll see a sequel that will have that refinement. So that's what I'm hoping. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick look at Grand Kingdom, and I will probably be playing a lot more of it when it comes out. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them, but there's only so much in the demo, so that I can't answer ridiculously in-depth questions. But I'll try to answer whatever I can if anyone has anything. In the meantime, go check out some more videos on it, or see if you can download the demo yourself and give it a try. Till then, later everyone.